AITA for not wanting to attend a family gathering because my aunt always brings up my siblings' accomplishments. I come from a large, close-knit family with several aunts, uncles, and cousins spread out across the country. We make it a point to get together as often as possible, usually once or twice a year, for big family gatherings. However, I have always struggled with feeling like I am not good enough compared to my successful cousins. Growing up, I didn't achieve much academically or athletically. My siblings, on the other hand, excelled in these areas and were always praised for their accomplishments. While I was happy for them, I couldn't help but feel like I was being left behind. It felt like no matter what I did, I could never measure up to them in my family's eyes. This feeling of inadequacy persisted into adulthood. And it wasn't until recently that I finally started to make some real progress in my career. I started my own business and worked hard to build it up from scratch. For the first time in my life, I felt like I had something to be proud of. So when I attend family gatherings, I always hope to share my accomplishments with my family and receive some recognition for my hard work. However, my Aunt Linda always manages to ruin these events for me. She is extremely competitive when it comes to her children, particularly my cousin Tom, who is a successful businessman. Whenever we get together as a family, Aunt Linda can't help but bring up Tom's accomplishments at every opportunity. At first, I didn't mind so much. I was proud of Tom and happy to hear about his successes. But as time went on, I began to feel like Aunt Linda was using Tom's accomplishments to belittle me and the rest of the family. Whenever I would talk about my own achievements or goals, she would brush them off and redirect the conversation back to Tom. This became especially frustrating for me because I had spent so much time feeling like I wasn't good enough compared to my siblings. Finally, I had something to be proud of. But Aunt Linda's behavior made me feel like it was still not good enough. It hurt to not receive any recognition or celebration for my own accomplishments. So when the latest family gathering rolled around, I decided not to go. I just couldn't face another round of Aunt Linda's comparisons and put-downs. I told my parents that I had a scheduling conflict and wouldn't be able to make it. But I could tell that they were disappointed. A few days later, I got a call from my mum. She told me that Aunt Linda had been really upset that I didn't come to the gathering, and that she had been asking a lot of questions about why I hadn't been there. My mum told me that Aunt Linda had even suggested that I was being selfish by not attending, and that I was ruining the family dynamic. I was really hurt by this. It felt like Aunt Linda had never really cared about me as a person, only as a comparison point for her own child. And now she was trying to guilt me into attending family gatherings where I knew I would feel uncomfortable and belittled. So, Reddit. AITA for not wanting to attend family gatherings because my aunt always brings up my siblings' accomplishments. I feel like I'm caught between a rock and a hard place here. On the one hand, I don't want to hurt my family by not attending these events. But on the other hand, I don't want to subject myself to Aunt Linda's toxic behavior anymore. What should I do?